Hello, guys.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Everybody's here, yes?
Yes,
Mm,
ma'am.
yes,
Group
from
number
Gm23.
23. 23. Okay, good. My name is Nursuluu Amatova. I am teacher of endocrine system histology. Please turn on your camera. Turn on your um, camera. Show me your faces. It's important. It's when you are really here in lessons in class, and we will finish um, earlier if we will discuss fast about our topic today. It's endocrine system. Endocrine system. Who wants to start introduction in endocrine system? What is the system? Organs included in this system? Glands. What's the glands function? Okay, maybe Muhammad Sami.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it's very easy question for you. Start, please.
About
Okay.
endocrine system,
Yes, endocrine system. What is the system function of endocrine system?
ma'am, endo
Endocrine system. Glands of endocrine system. Pituitary gland, thyroid gland, and others.
Ma'am, I want to just, I have a one question about it. We haven't the lecture of the histology. So how we will
Histology
prepare the, yes, it is a practice
lecture.
class for the, yeah.
Yes, it's the practice class. It's practice. Today's practice class. Our lessons must be 11:15,
No, no,
11:50 earlier. But
I know
yes,
that, but I am asking that today we just have a practice class, but we haven't the lecture of this subject. So how we will know the topics that we have to prepare in the practice class?
no, we have only one practice class, and it's today. And before you had a lecture, and today I will ask you about this topic. You should know about
Okay.
it. Yes.
Mm, oh man. Okay. Tayyib,
Okay.
can I have a few minutes? Tayyib,
Uh,
Tayyib?
Repeat, please. You have some problems with internet
Ma'am,
connection.
in endocrine system, we read about hormones, etc., and glands which function same as neuron neuron signaling, and also then we study about glands, etc., such as pituitary gland and thyroid gland, adrenal gland, etc. Then we also study that hormone released from the hypothalamus and act on the other glands which release hormone. And then we will study the what is hormone. So hormone is biological substance that act on a specific target cells. So hormone is biological substance that act on specific target cells, and uh, generally the hormone pass from the circulatory system, blood or lymph, and then reach to the target cell. Mm, This common transport of hormone to target cell are called endocrine communication. Then these hormones are divided into three. It is to be noted that actually the gland are divided into three: autocrine gland, justacrine gland, and
Yes.
paracrine gland. The paracrine communication is located a type of humoral communication in which the hormone or cytokine diffuse into the extracellular fluid and then reach to the target. So in this first hormone diffuse in the extracellular fluid, such like blood or lymph, etc., and they act on the receptor. Then the justacrine communication is the chemical messenger produced by one cell directly affect the receptor on the adjacent cell. So it directly affect in the previous one first flow in the blood or lymph, and then its function occur. And the third one is autocrine mode, in which chemical messenger produced by one cell or receptor located produced by one cell has same effect on the same receptor cell.
Yes.
On same receptor. Yes, ma'am. Then we will study the hormones chemically. Then chemical classification of hormone. The hormones. Some hormones are steroid hormone. Some hormone are protein hormones, and some hormone are acidic. So steroid hormones, such like testosterone and estradiol. Then protein hormones are epinephrine and non-epinephrine.
Norepinephrine.
Yes, ma'am.
More correct. Okay.
And erectinoid derivatives hormone are prostaglandin and leukotrienes hormones. Then we will study what are hormones receptors. So the hormones which have lipids, so they directly pass into the cell membrane, because cell membrane has also lipid, and then it combined with the intracellular receptor. And the hormones which are not, which have no lipids, such as protein hormone, so or water soluble hormone, so they first combine with the cell surface receptor and then goes to the target. So these are two in one receptor is inside, they attach, and the other cell surface receptor is on the outside of the cell. Then we will study about the different types of glands, such as hypophysis or pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is first of all.
I think it's enough. It's enough. Good introduce. Good, Muhammad. Okay. Next question about pituitary gland for Isa, Gm18. Gm18 is late. Isa, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Turn on your video
Ma'am.
and start about pituitary gland. What's the gland? I need to see your face. I need to remember you, know how you look. Okay.
Ma'am, actually my front camera is not working. It's damaged. That's why.
Okay, without camera. Okay. Answer without camera.
Thank you, ma'am.
And you are in Pakistan, yes?
Yes,
I think
ma'am.
you have bad internet connection?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, without camera.
Yes, ma'am. What I
Pituitary gland.
which
What's the
gland?
gland? Location, histology, structure, function. What is the anterior pituitary gland, posterior pituitary gland?
Okay, ma'am.
Which hormones produced by pituitary gland? Yes, okay.
Uh, the pituitary gland is a hypophysis, is an endocrine gland about size of pea and weight about is 0.5 grams in a human. It is a protrusion of the bottom of the hypothalamus at the base of the membrane. The hypophysis rests upon the hypophyseal fossa of the sphenoid bone in the center of the middle cranial fossa and is surrounded by a small bone cavity, sella turcica, covered by dural fold. The anterior pituitary or adenohypophysis is a lobe of the gland that regulates several physiological processes, including stress, growth, reproduction, and lactation. The intermediate lobe synthesis and secrete melanocyte stimulating hormones. The posterior pituitary or neurohypophysis is the lobe of the gland that is functionally connected to the hypothalamus by the median eminence via small tube called the pituitary stalk, also called the infundibular stalk of the infundibulum. Okay, ma'am.
Yes, next. Continue.
Uh, a hormone secreted from the pituitary glands helps to control growth, blood pressure, energy management, all function of the sex organs, thyroid glands, and metabolism, as well as aspect of pregnancy, childbirth, breastfeeding, water salt concentration at the kidney, and temperature regulations and relief. Uh, and the posterior lobe develops as an extension of the hypothalamus from the floor of the third ventricle. The posterior pituitary hormones are synthesized by cell bodies in the hypothalamus. The magnocellular neurosecretory cells of the supraoptic and paraventricular nuclei located in the hypothalamus project axons down the infundibulum to terminals. In the posterior pituitary, this simple arrangement differs sharply from that of the adjacent anterior pituitary, which does not develop from hypothalamus. The release of pituitary hormones by both the anterior and posterior lobe is under the control of hypothalamus. And the interior pituitary synthesize secrete hormones, all releasing hormones can be referred as the releasing factors, somatotrophs, human growth hormones, also called as growth hormones, and also as a somatotrophin is released under the influence of hypothalamic growth hormones releasing and is inhibited by hypothalamic somatostatin. And then corticotropes cleaved from the precursor opiomelanocortin protein and include adrenocorticotropic hormones. Thyrotropes, thyroid stimulating hormones, is released under the influence of hypothalamic thyrotropin released hormones and is inhibited by somatostatin. Gonadotropes, luteinizing hormones, follicle stimulating hormones, both released under the influence of the gonadotropin releasing hormones. Lactotropes, prolactin, who's released by stimulating hypothalamic, oxytocin, vasopressin, vasoactive, intestinal peptide, angiotensin 2, and neurotensin, and inhibited by hypothalamic dopamine. These hormones are released from the anterior pituitary and under the influence of hypothalamus. Uh, Hypothalamic hormones are secreted to the anterior lobe by the way of special capillary system called the hypothalamic hypophyseal portal system. There is also a non-endocrine cell population called folliculosatellite cells. That's enough.
You said about hormones. Isa, anterior pituitary gland include pars distalis, tuberalis. What is a pars? What is that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What is a pars distalis? And pars distalis, for example, can include basophils and acidophils. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And what hormone produced by acidophils and basophils? You said before about it, for example, growth hormone produced by acidophils or basophils?
Yeah.
It's here a little histologic structure.
Ma'am, the posterior pituitary also secretes different endocrine hormones like antidiuretic hormones, which is also known as vasopressin, and arginine vasopressin, the majority of which is released from the supraoptic nucleus in the hypothalamus. Oxytocin, most of which is released from the paraventricular nucleus in the hypothalamus. Oxytocin is one of the few hormones to create a positive feedback loop. For example, uterine contraction stimulate the release of oxytocin from the posterior pituitary, which is in turn increase uterine contraction. The positive feedback loop continues throughout the labors.
Okay. Okay, good information. Good.
And some hormones like thyroid and growth hormones, oxytocin, and melanocyte stimulating hormones.
Yes.
This is also produced in the anterior lobe and produced in the intermediate lobe.
Yes.
It's also sometimes called intermedians.
Yes. Okay, I think it's enough. Just show me your face. I want to know how you look. Or your camera doesn't work.
Oh, 1 second, ma'am.
Okay. Next question about thyroid gland. A very interesting gland. Thyroid gland. Who want to answer? Or I should do choose somebody. Ali Hasnain Shan, group 18. Ali Hasnain Shan, are you here?
Yes,
Ali.
ma'am.
Yes, you are here. Okay, Ali, continue. Thyroid gland, what is a gland? Again, anatomy, histologic structure, measure function, what hormone produced by this gland. Okay, you can start.
Yes, ma'am. Thyroid gland is a butterfly-shaped gland that sits low on the front of the neck. Thyroid lies below uh, the Adam's apple along the front of the windpipe. The thyroid has two side lobes connected by a bridge isthmus in the middle. When the thyroid is its normal size, it cannot be filled. And thyroid secretes several hormones collectively called the thyroid hormones. The main hormone is thyroxine and also called T4 hormone. Thyroid hormones act throughout the body, influencing metabolism, growth, and development, and body temperature. During infancy and childhood, the adequate thyroid hormone is crucial for brain development.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. And this thyroid gland
Structure of thyroid gland. What's the thyroid follicles? What is that? Thyroid follicles, follicular cells, parafollicular cells, colloid. Ali Hasnain, do you hear me? Are you here? Ali,
yes, ma'am.
are you here?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Continue.
Mm, the thyroid gland is divided into lobules by the septa, dipping from the capsule. The thyroid lobule
Yes.
consists of a large number of typical units called the thyroid follicles. The thyroid follicles are the structural and functional unit of thyroid gland. These are the spherical and wall is made up of large number of cuboidal cells. The follicular cells, these follicular cells are the derivatives of the endoderm and secrete thyroid hormone. The circulating form of this hormone is thyroxine, which is T4, along with the small quantity of T3. Even though the most of T4 later converts into the more active form T3, both affects the target cells within the with varying degrees of the stimulation. Mm. These hormones help in regulating the body metabolic rate (BM) or of the body. In between these thyroid follicles or within the wall of the thyroid follicles, we find the small C cells, also known as the parafollicular cells. Mm, these are derived from the neural crust cells and secrete the polypeptide hormone called calcitonin. Mm, and the calcitonin helps in depositing calcium and phosphate and other minerals in skeletal or in our bones and other tissues, leading to hypocalcemia. This function is opposite of parathormone, and, and these thyroid follicles act as the storage compartments filled with the substance called the colloid. This colloid is a thyroglobulin protein, or we can hormone, maybe we can say, which is nothing but acidophilic secretory, yes, glycoprotein. These follicles are held together tightly within the delicate network of radicular fibers with the extensive capillary bed. Functions of thyroid glands are they help in overall growth and development, differentiation of all the cells of the body. They regulate the basal metabolic rate, which we say the BMR of the BMR, and they play an important role in the calcium metabolism. They help in the overall development and function of central nervous system in children. They stimulate the somatic and psychic growth. They stimulate heart rate and contraction. They help in and they decrease the level of calcium in the blood, regulate the carbohydrate, fat, and protein metabolism. They also play an important role in the metabolism of vitamins and help both and also regulate the temperature of body. They degrade the cholesterol and triglycerides in the body, maintain the electrolyte balance. But the thyroid hormones act as almost all the cells of the body, and they also take up the key role in development, growth, function, and tissue organs of the body. Thyroid hormones are mandatory for the normal metabolic activity in all the cells of the body.
Yes. Ali, can you compare two hormones, T4 and T3, and say the differences between each other? Which of them more active? Which of them has a longer half-life?
T3 is more active.
Yes, you're right.
T4 is a precursor of the thyroid hormone produced by the thyroid gland. Thus, the T3 and T4 are the two different forms of T4 are the two forms of the thyroid hormone that control the metabolism.
And what about half-life of hormones? Half-life?
Don't know half-life, but
okay. T4 has 6-7 days of half-life. T3 has only 24-25 hours. That's why T3 more active, but has less half-life. Yes. And you said about physiological effects of thyroid glands. I think it's enough. Okay, good, Ali. Good. And next question about parathyroid gland. Parathyroid gland, who want to answer? Okay. Ajab Nazir, or oh no, group number 23, Saman Sabir. Saman Sabir, are you here? Saman Sabir. If you don't answer, it means you are absent.
Ma'am, can I answer from group number 23? Muhammad Sami.
23, Muhammad. Muhammad Sami. Can you turn on your camera, Muhammad Sami?
Yes.
Yes, and of course, continue about parathyroid gland.
Yeah. And the parathyroid glands, they are the 4 small glands. They are situated on the posterior surface of the upper and the lower wall of the thyroid gland. These hormones, they produce the parathyroid hormone, which regulate the level of the calcium in the blood. Then parathermol, it is a protein in nature. It's having 84 amino acids. The half-life and of it is 10 minutes. And the metabolism of the parahormone is it is degraded by the Kupffer cells of liver, and the degradation of about 20% to 30%. Then we have the action of the parathyroid hormone on the in blood calcium level, which it maintain the blood calcium level by acting on the bones, kidney, and GIT tract. On bones, it enhances the reabsorption of the calcium from bones of osteoblast
Yes.
activities, and then the reabsorption of the calcium from the bones occur in the two phase, the rapid and the slow phase. Then on the kidney, it increases the reabsorption of the calcium from the renal tubules along with the magnesium ions and the hydrogen ions. And in GIT tract, it's increase the absorption of the calcium ions indirectly, which increase the formation of 125 dihydro dihydro
Read it.
dihydro calciferol, dihydrocalciferol. Then it also activates the vitamin D. And then the disorder of the parathyroid glands are the hypoparathyroidism and the hyperparathyroidism.
Yes, and
Then causes
major
of the
symptoms of hypoparathyroidism, for example. Symptoms.
there are the
You said about function of parathyroid hormones of parathyroid gland. If we, for example, damaged or removed parathyroid gland, what will be with patient, with human?
there will be the low level of the calcium.
Low blood calcium, yes.
And that will cause the bone deformation.
Yes. What the symptoms of low hypocalcemia?
Hypothalcemia?
Yes, hypocalcemia. If we will, it's nervousness.
Yes.
Nervousness, yes. Maybe
yes,
some, как сказать, судороги.
Tiredness, nervousness, tiredness.
Yes, of muscles, legs, arms.
Even the twitches.
Yes, It's the symptoms of low calcium blood, yes, level.
Yes,
and the treatment of this disease, what do you think?
The treatment will be the calcium, you can say medication.
Yes,
such as the direct intake of the calcium and by the medicine, or you can say the liquid form of the calcium.
Yes, this person will to take from out calcium or vitamin D and vitamin D.
D as well, yes, sir.
Yes, all life.
Yes.
During life. Okay. It was hypoparathyroidism. What is the hyperparathyroidism?
That is the excess of the production of reabsorption of the calcium.
Can you say the reasons, conditions
the
of
symptom? That will be the
Conditions. Okay,
depression of
symptoms.
depression
Symptom.
of the nervous system.
Next.
Then the reduce of the ST segment and QT segment, I think.
Next.
Lack of appetite and the constipation. These are the main.
Maybe. Yes. Conditions of this system. Okay. What reasons? Reasons. It may be some tumor reasons. Yes.
The tumor on the parathyroid.
Maybe some
That it is
tumors or
producing
yes.
the excessive calcium reabsorption from the bloodstream.
Yes. Okay. Good. Good, Sami. And next question for group 23 again about adrenal gland. Laraib Mehtab. Laraib Mehtab, are you here? Or you're absent?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Laraib, turn on your camera and say us about adrenal gland. Very interesting gland.
I kind of have internet connection problem.
And that's why you can't turn on your camera.
I also cannot hear you clearly. You can hear me clearly?
You can, okay, you can start. We hear
Yes,
you
ma'am. Can you hear me?
very well.
Okay, ma'am. What's the question?
Adrenal gland.
Adrenal gland are glands. It's also known as life-saving glands or essential and endocrine glands. It is because of the presence of adrenocortical hormones causes death within 3 to 15 days and absence of adrenomedullary hormone drastically decreases to resistance to mental and physical stress. There are two adrenal glands. Each gland is situated on the upper pole of the kidney. Because of the situation, adrenal gland are otherwise called suprarenal glands. Each gland has weight of about 4 grams. Adrenal glands have made up of two distinct parts, adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla. Adrenal cortex outer portion consisting of 80% of the gland, and adrenal medulla center portion consists of 20% of the glands. The two parts are different from each other in development, structure, and function. Adrenal medulla develops from the neural crest and gives origin to the sympathetic nervous system. So the secretion and function resemble that of sympathetic nervous system. Adrenal cortex develop from the mesophones, which give rise to the renal tissue. It secretes entirely a different group of hormones known as corticosteroids. Yes, ma'am.
Zona reticularis, zona fasciculata. What is the zone of adrenal gland?
What, ma'am?
Zone of the cortex.
Ma'am, I can understand you. What are you saying?
Zone of the cortex. The cortex divided in 3 zones: zona fasciculata.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now I understand. Adrenal cortex is formed by 3 layers of structure: outer zone, middle zone, and inner zone. Outer zone is glomerulosa and glucose. Inner middle zone is known as fasciculata, and inner zone is known as reticularis.
Yes, ma'am. Cortisol hormones are steroids in nature, hence they are classified into three groups.
I think she has some problems with connection. Laraip, are you here?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Cortisol hormone are steroids in nature, hence based on their function, cortisol steroids are classified into three groups. Um,
Okay. Your internet connection is not stable. You said enough. When next students will continue. Okay. About the zones. Who want to answer, guys? Maybe Nagina Abbas. Nagina Abbas, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Nagina. We heard the answer from Laraip, and she said about adrenal cortex, and especially about the zones. Continue. Zona fasciculata reticularis, what is the zone, what hormone produced by them, and next about adrenal medulla. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Nagina, we are waiting. Nagina, are you here? Nagina Abbas. Nagina.
She left, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
No,
she's
no.
left.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes. Are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, continue.
Yes, ma'am. The suprarenal cortex are divided into three zones: zona glomerulus, zona fasciculata, and zona reticularis. Zona glomerulus are the outermost zone and lies just beneath the capsule and constitute about 15% of the cortical volume and composed of the Colmer cells, which contain darkly staining cellular nuclei, and cells are arranged in arch columns or rounded clusters, which are surrounded by fenestrated capillaries and stain sections under the LM. It is cytoplasm of these cells stains eosinophilic and contains are extending smooth endoplasmic reticulum, numerous mitochondria and well-shaped and Golgi apparatus and many lipid droplets. And zona glomerular cells secrete mineralocorticoid, chiefly aldosterone.
Yes.
And then our zona fasciculata, the zona fasciculata thickest zone and accounts for 70 to 80%. and of the cortical volume. And zone consists of large polyhedral cells arranged in the long straight cords and one or two cell thick and run right angles to the surface of the gland. And adjacent cellular cords are separated from each other by cell of zona fasciculata are large in size and those zona glomerulus. Each cell generally contains single spherical and lightly staining nucleus. And bicutinate cells are also commonly seen in the zona fasciculata. And cytoplasm of the zona fasciculata cells secreting cells and extensive smooth endoplasm reticulum.
Yes.
And each are network of fenestrated blood capillaries intraverse in contact with the um, capillary and
And okay, she's have problems with internet connection. Nagina. Okay. Okay, next question for Muhammad Ahmed. Muhammad Ahmed, did you answer it before?
What, ma'am?
Did you answer it today? No.
No, ma'am.
No? Okay, what is the hormones produced by zona fasciculata?
The cells of zona fasciculata produce glucocorticoids, mainly cortisol.
Yes, right. Next zone.
Next to the zona fasciculata is the zona reticularis.
Yes.
It makes up
hello, ma'am.
10% of the adrenal cortex. It is adjacent to the medulla. The cells of the zona reticularis are polyhedral or rounded shape, arranged in anastomosing or branching pattern. Due to this reason, they are called so. Due to anastomosing and branching pattern of the cores of endocrine cells, they are called zona fasciculata. The cells of zona reticularis. The cell of zona reticularis secrete weak androgens, also produce small quantities of estrogen, progesterone, and cortisol.
Muhammad Ahmed, are you here? Sorry, guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you repeat? Because I didn't hear.
Okay, ma'am. The cells of the zona fasciculata produce glucocorticoids, mainly cortisol, and then zona reticularis. Zona reticularis is the innermost zone of the adrenal cortex, constitute 10% of total cell volume of the adrenal cortex, and they consist of polyhedral rounded arranged branching and anastomosing cords of endocrine cells. Between the cords of endocrine cells, there are sinusoidal blood capillaries. A special feature of the cells of zona reticularis is the presence of large amount of lipofuscin pigment, and the cell of zona reticularis also secrete weak androgens, mainly testosterone, progesterone, and cortisol. The zona reticularis derived its name because of cellular component arrangement in the branching and anastomosing pattern. Then adrenal medulla. Adrenal medulla contain anastomosing cords of large polyhedral cells called medullary cells. Between the cords of medullary cells, there are sinusoidal blood capillaries. Medullary cells have affinity for chromium salt and called chromaffin cells. Developmentally, medullary cells devolve from mesoderm, neural crust cells, and regarded as modified postganglionic neurons that lack dendrites and axons. Electron microscopic study reveals that the cytoplasm of the medullary cells contain rough endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, and well-developed Golgi apparatus. In addition to these, cytoplasm of the medullary cells also contains special variety of protein called chromogranin, which serve to bind and store the low molecular weight catecholamines such as epinephrine and norepinephrine in the cytoplasm of the secretory cells until they are released by exocytosis.
Mhm. Yes. Okay, good, Muhammad Ahmed. Next question, pineal gland. Pineal gland. Who want to answer? Guys, you should be more active. Okay. Group number 23. 23. Mhm. Umir Ali, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Umir Ali, show me your face and start about pineal gland. Pineal gland. Your internet is not working. Very bad internet connection.
Yes, ma'am. I'm in Pakistan. Internet connection is not so much good.
Okay, with turn open camera, can you answer? Don't turn on your camera because it's do your internet worse. Pineal gland.
Ma'am,
He left, yes? Yes. Okay. Shaman Sajid. Shaman Sajid. Are you
Yes,
here?
ma'am.
Yes.
Так, ну что, какие новости?
Ma'am, can you hear me? Canada. No.
Ma'am, ma'am, can I tell no penal gland?
और रुक जा, सबर कर ले, सुना ली.
वो कर क्या रही है?
Sorry, guys. Are you here? Please continue. Who answered?
Ma'am,
Okay, pineal gland, please.
ma'am, penal gland is also called conarium uh, or penal body, and ma'am, it's found in endocrine gland found in vertebrates, and ma'am, that can play a central role in the regulation of circadian rhythm, and ma'am, the roughly 24-hour cycle of biological activities associated with light and darkness. And ma'am, pineal gland develops from the roof of the tenocephalon, a section of the brain, and is located behind the third cerebral ventricle in the brain midline between the two cerebral hemispheres. And ma'am, its name is derived from its shape, which is similar to that of the pinison, Latin pinia. In adults, it is about 0.8 centimeter long, and its weight is approximately 0.1 gram. And the pineal gland has a rich supply of adrenergic nerves, and that greatly influence its functions microscopically. The gland is composed of pinealocytes. Pinealocytes are rather typical endocrine cells, except for extensions that mingle with those of adjacent cells. And when it's supporting cells that are similar to the astrocytes of calcium often make the pineal body visible on X-rays. And when pineal hormones, both melatonin and its precursor serotonin, which are derived chemically from the alkaloid substance tryptamine, are synthesized in the pineal gland along with other brain sites. The pineal gland may also produce neurosteroids, DMT, and a hallucinogenic compound present in the Amazonian botanical drink made from Bonistrophysis sapi, a South American jungle vine.
and ma'am is chemically similar to the melatonin and serotonin and is considered to be a trace substance in human blood and urine, although alleged to be produced by pineal gland. And DMT has not been consistently detected
Yes, it
in
means
human.
neurosite.
Proof of it, and ma'am, proof of its regulated biosynthesis in the
Mm-hmm. Primarily, I think it's enough. Mm-hmm.
enough. Ma'am.
Okay. Okay, good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm. Who doesn't who don't answer today, guys?
Me, ma'am. Shamini Sajid.
I also,
Uh,
ma'am, didn't.
what you want to answer? You can choose gland and dopomin.
Whatever you want to ask.
Yes, and supplement complete answered of other students. Complete answer of other students. Shamin, it was here.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
Yes, I'm here, ma'am.
Oh, okay, about pituitary gland. What do you know about pituitary gland? You need marks, and if you will answer, it will good. It's good for you.
Okay, ma'am.
Mhm.
Ma'am, the pituitary gland is derived from two embryologically distinct tissues. As such, it is composed of both neural and glandular tissues. It is composed of bundle of axons from hypothalamic neurosecretory neurons intermixed with glial cells. The pituitary gland is divided into three sections. The anterior lobe, which constitutes the majority of the pituitary mass and is composed of primarily five hormones producing cell types. Thyrotropes, leptotropes, corticotropes, somatotropes, and gonadotropes. Each each secreting hormones are prolactin, ACTH, growth hormone, and growth ma'am, the role of pituitary hormone is it contains non-myelinated axons, which are the neurosecretory cells. The cell bodies of these cells are located in the hypothalamus. It only secretes two hormones, antidiuretic hormone, which acts on kidney, and oxytocin, which acts on the uterus. And ma'am, uh, pituitary glands reveals two closely opposed but distinct tissues called adenohypophysis, anterior and granular pituitary, and neurohypophysis, uh, posterior and neural pituitary. Microexamination of the conventionally stained adenohypophysis reveals three distinct cell types: acidophils, basophils, and chromophores. The pattern of staining reflects the chemical character of intracellular hormone laden granules within the pituitary gland. And the neurohypophysis is an extension of the hypothalamus. It composed of bundle of axons from hypothalamic neurosecretory neurons intermixed with glial cells. And then that's it about pituitary.
Yes. Okay, Shamin, good. Okay, who wants to answer?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Yes. Can you repeat about thyroid gland?
Thyroid gland.
Yes, or you want to other? You want other?
Okay. Okay. No problem. Thyroid gland.
Just give me 1 minute to open your browser.
Okay.
Guys, I
Thyroid
hope
gland.
so you doesn't read. You know this information.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Thyroid gland is an endocrine gland. It's our neck. It's present in our neck. It makes two hormones that are secreted into the body: thyroxine and tridothyronine. These hormones are necessary for all the cells in our body for work normally. Thyroid disorders are very common and mainly occur in the women, although anybody, men, teenagers, children, and babies too can be affected. And the thyroid gland lies in front of our neck in the position just below our Adam's apple. It made of two lobes, right lobe and left lobe is about the size of a plum cut in the half, and these two lobes are joined by a small bridge of thyroid tissue called isthmus. The two lobes lie on either side of the windpipe, and thyroid makes two hormones. It secretes into the bloodstream. Once thyroxine hormone, this hormone contains four atoms of iodine, and it's called because that's why we call it T4. And the other is a tridothyronine, which contain three atoms of iodine, and is that's why we call it T3. In the cells and tissues of the body of T4 is converted into T3. T3 derived from T4 are secreted as T3 from the thyroid gland, which is biologically active and influences the activity of all the cell and body tissues. On the other hand, if hypothyroidism, it's underactive thyroid, it's not enough thyroxine. When will be the not enough thyroxine is produced for the body's needs. Hypothyroidism, it will be when overactive thyroid, too much thyroxine is produced for the body's need. So then will be hyperthyroidism. If will be low thyroid activity, then disease will be hypothyroidism. And hypothyroidism is the most common disorder. Hypothyroidism, it shows the symptoms: tiredness, feeling cold feeling, weight gain, poor concentration, and depression. And on the other hand, hypothyroidism, it will show the symptoms like weight and heat intolerance, anxiety, and sometimes a sore and gritty eyes. And sometimes there are very few symptoms. Blood test from our doctor will confirm whether not you have a thyroid disorders. And thyroid eye diseases, this affects some people who have a overactive thyroid due to Graves disease. And nodules or swellings. These lumps can stop the thyroid gland from working properly, or are simply uncomfortable. Thyroid cancer is a very rare, and but it's important to ask our doctor to check lump in our neck. um, okay, that's enough, man.
Okay, Ajab Nazir want to answer.
Yes, he wants to answer.
Okay, Ajab Nazir, which gland you chose?
Ma'am, which you say?
Thyroid gland again?
Okay, ma'am.
No. You asked me. Adrenal gland. You can say about adrenal gland again.
Okay, ma'am, I will say adrenal gland. Adrenal gland, also known as suprarenal glands, and they produce a variety of hormones: adrenaline and steroids, testosterone, cortisol. And they are found above the kidneys. Each gland has an outer cortex
and an inner medulla. And function of adrenal glands. Adrenal gland produce hormones that help regulate metabolism, immune system, blood pressure, and stress. And what more, man? I know functions, location, and
histologic structure.
histological structure.
Yes.
Ma'am, adrenal glands consist of cortex and medulla. Cortex is divided into 3 zones. Zona fasciculata consists of radially oriented cords. The zona reticularis cells are arranged in branching, and the adrenal glands consist of outer connective tissue, capsule, and veins and lymphatic leave each gland near the helium, but arteries and nerves enter the glands at numerous sites. One adrenal gland consists of tissues, nervous tissues.
Yes, next. Go on, Ajab.
They produce hormones, cortisol, which regulate metabolism, and the other aldosterone, which helps control blood pressure. And that's all about adrenal gland in short forms.
That's all, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, who wants to answer? Who wants to answer? That's all.
That's all.
Okay, which time will your next lessons? Today.
This is our last lesson.
It's our last? Oh.
Yes.
Okay, как сказать, я отметила. I fix your point, your marks, and I sent in chat slideshow. If you sit from a laptop, you can download it. If you don't have, if you use phone, you couldn't, I think. I sent you in chat my number. Your leader can to text me, and I'll send you in WhatsApp slideshow, because it's need for you in future in exam. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Please save this number. Who is leader? 23 and 18. Who is leader?
Ma'am, our leader is absent.
Yes. Text me, okay, if you need slideshow.
Okay.
And 23. Who is 23?
I am leader, ma'am, Muhammad Sami.
Okay, text me.
Okay.
Goodbye, guys. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. See you
Yes, bye bye.
next
Allah
time.
Hafiz.
Okay, goodbye.
ਤੂੰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਪੱਕਾ ਪੱਕਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ